So the first thing is to open our Windows and our server. Bring up your window and bring up your server. So unlock the two machines. So the first place we're going to start from here will be the configuring USB blocking. This is where we stop in our previous class, which is a folder redirection. So when you're talking about USB blocking, what does USB blocking means? USB blocking is when you want to block any external USB so that any company system is not going to be able to make use of USB on their system on the network. So why can company implement such policy on their network? The reason why is that we don't want anybody to come and use a USB that has a malware and attach it to any company system so that the malware is not going to be spreading on the network. So that's the reason why we're going to block anybody from using a USB. So when you are blocking anybody from using a USB, it means that there's no way they can carry a malware USB and use it on the network anymore. So we have already put some measures on ground to secure our to expand our security on the network. But it is not every time that you're going to be doing this USB blocking on a network. There must be a reason why you must block the USB so that nobody will be able to make use of USB on the network. So the first thing we need to do when we want to block a USB inside the server, the first thing we need to do is to open our server manager. So we're going to open the server manager. So when you open your server manager, the next thing is to go to tools, click on tools, and you come to the server. You click on tools. Once you click on tools, you're going to check the one that say group policy management. So you drag down, you're going to see a group policy management, click on it. So once you see a group policy management, you're going to see another icon blinking at the bottom. Just click on the icon. So you're going to see a forest. Expand the forest, expand domain, and you're going to see your domain name. Once you see your domain name, right click on your domain name. Once you right click on the domain name, you're going to see the first option that says create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So you're gonna click on it. So once you click on it, you're going to name it what you're doing, which is a USB blockage. So I'm gonna name it USB blockage. So after I name it, click OK. Once you click OK, it's going to disappear. Just expand your domain name. You will see the new created GPO, which is a USB blockage. So once you see, the next thing I'll say, we should right click on the newly created GPO. So I'm gonna right click on the USB blockage. Once you right click, the next thing is to click on edit. Click on edit. So once you click on edit, under computer configuration, under computer, you can see that here we have both an computer and a user. We have both computer and user. So under computer configuration, they say you should expand and you click on a policy. Expand policy under computer configuration, and you're going to click on administrative template. So you're going to expand administrative template and you click on a system. So you're going to see a system here. Click on the system. Once you click on system, the next thing I say double click on all removable storage classes. So you're going to drag down. You drag down to where we have removable storage access. So drag down to where we have a removable storage access. Click on it. Once you click on it, now drag down to where we have, oh, sorry, drag down to where we have all removable storage classes. So I'm coming, drag to where we have all removable storage classes. So once you here, just click, you will see the one that say all removable storage classes. So double click on it. So once you double click on it, it say we should enable it. We should enable, but before we enable, let's check. Maybe we USB is working on our server. If I goes to this server file explorer, I goes to the server file explorer. Please hold on. If I open this server file explorer, you will see this PC. If I click on this PC, you're going to see that the drive D on this server is working. If I click on this drive D, you're going to access the folder inside, which means that you are able to make use of a USB on the server. So let's now go to this server and implement a policy so that we want to block this USB. We don't want any external drive to work anymore on this server. So the next thing that we need to do here is that we need to enable it. Once we enable it, you will drag down. You're going to see option that you're going to click and apply, and you click OK. So once you enable it, you're going to see apply at the bottom and you click OK. So once you click OK, the next thing is to enter our CMD. So enter the server CMD, go to your search bar. Once you are inside the search bar, search for CMD. So once you are inside the CMD, it says you should type this command gp update space slash false. So type this command gp update. The gp and the update will be together. So don't put a space. Gp update space forward slash false. So you're going to be seeing updating policy. So we need to hold on for it to finish. So it's going to ask you, do you want to restart this server? Yes or no? Just type Y, which is yes, and hit enter key. The server will be restarted. So once the server restarted, I hope you can hear me. I hope you hear what I'm saying. So once the server restarted, just use your control delete and put the password of the server to log in. So let's wait for the server to come up. So once the server is started, just go to that file explorer that we go earlier. Go to this PC. That drive D that we opened that time. If I want to open it now, it's going to tell me that access is denied, which means that we are not allowed to use any USB on the network anymore. So if I come here, I now go to that Windows 10. I know that all this configuration, I'm configure it on the server. So let me go to that Windows 10 and check maybe the flash will be working on the Windows 10. But before I do that, I need to go to that Windows 10 and I restart the Windows 10. So I need to restart this Windows 10. Let this thing come up, please. Let me restart the Windows 10. So once you finish the configuration on the server, you need to restart that Windows 10. After you restart it, we're now going to check maybe it's working or it not. So once the window is finished, let's unlock it and log into it. So we unlock the window, let's check the file explorer of the Windows 10. Click on the file explorer. So once I click on the file explorer, I will click on this PC. Once I click on this PC, if I click on the drive D of that Windows 10, let's see what it's going to say. It's going to tell you that access is denied. So this showing you this means that you can't use any USB on the Windows 10 anymore. Be you are using SanDisk, you are using Transit, anyone, you can't use any USB on it. Which means that anytime that you now want USB to be working on this Windows 10, you need to go to the server and remove the policy. So that's how you configure the USB blocking. So what was the step that we use? The first thing is that on Server Manager, we click on Tools. So I will recap how we get there for you. On the Server Manager, here is the Server Manager. We click on Tools. Once we click on Tools, we click on Group Policy Management. Once we click on Group Policy Management, we expand our forest, we expand domain, and we see our real domain name. So after that, we right click on our domain name and we click on the first option that says create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So once we click on the first option, we name it USB blockage. So once we name it USB blockage, we're now going to click OK. I don't want to create another new GPO. So once you click OK, if you expand your domain name, we're going to see that USB blockage here. Once you see it, right click edit. Once you edit, under computer configuration, expand policy. Once you expand policy, you're going to expand the administrative template. Once you expand administrative templates, you're going to click on a system. So once you click on system, drag down to where you're going to see removable storage access. Once you drag down to where you're going to see removable storage access, you're now going to click on the one that says all removable storage classes. So we're gonna click on it. Once you click on it, you click on enable. Once you enable, you're going to click apply and you click OK. Once you click apply and you click OK, go back to this your USB blockage and right click and click on enforce to enforce that particular policy. So once you enforce, go to your CMD and you type GP update space slash force. After that, your server is going to restart. Once your server restarted, goes to that particular Windows 10, restart the Windows 10 as well. So once you start the Windows 10 as well, if you go to the Windows 10 drive D, you won't be able to access it anymore. But in the first place, we are able to access this drive D, but when you have already configured that USB blockage, you won't be able to access it anymore. So that's how we configured a USB blocking. So the next thing we want to do now is that then once we have already achieved this USB blocking, the next thing here is a software installation. But before we do that software installation, let's do the one that is not inside this PDF, which is a desktop wallpaper. So we're going to do desktop wallpaper before we move to this last one, which is a software installation. But before we can do that desktop wallpaper, I need to remove that USB blockage policy because I will be needing to access that particular drive D folder. So I need to remove it. So if I come to this policy, let's go to the policy where we configure that particular policy, click on tools, click on group policy management. Once you click on group policy management, expand your forest, expand domain, expand your domain name, and this particular policy, right click and click on edit. So I want to remove this policy so that I can do the next topic, which is a desktop wallpaper. So I'm going to click on forest, policy, administrative template, system, and drag down to where you see removable storage access. I'm now going to click on all removable storage classes. I will click it on not configured. Before, if you want to enable it, you click on enable. So once you enable it, it's going to block anything USB on the network, which means that nobody will be able to use USB. But I want to remove that policy. You click on not configured. Once you click on not configured, I'm going to click on apply and I'm going to click on OK. Once I click on apply and I click on OK, so I need to go back to my CMD and update that policy so that I will now be able to make use of that USB on the network by typing GP update space forward slash force and hit enter key. So you're going to see updating policy. You're going to see updating policy. So we hold on for it to finish. So you're going to click yes and hit enter key. So once you hit enter key, log in back to the server. So once we log in back to the server, let's now go and check maybe the policy is removed or not. So once I open my file explorer, if I click on this PC, if I click on this drive D, you see that I'm able to access the drive D now, which means that we have already removed that particular policy. But in the first place is when we enable that policy, we are not able to access this. It's telling us access is denied. But yeah, it is working back, which means that I've already removed that policy. If I go back to that Windows 10, once I go to that Windows 10, I need to restart the Windows 10 because if I come here now, you will still be seeing access is denied. I need to restart that Windows 10 so that the new policy will be working on it. So I'm going to restart the Windows 10. Restart. So I'm going to log in back to the Windows 10. So once I log into this Windows 10, we get to confirm maybe the policy is be removed on the network. We have already confirmed it on the server and we are able to use that USB again. So now I want to confirm on the Windows 10 as well. So once this guy is unlocked, open the File Explorer. So once you open the File Explorer, let's click on this PC. Once I click on this PC, okay, I'm coming. If I click on here, I'm coming. Okay, here now we're still seeing access is denied. So let me open the CMD. Let's open the CMD. So open the CMD. Let's log into the CMD. So once inside that CMD, let's type this the same command gp update space slash force and we update the policy. GP update space slash force. So type yes to restart. Type yes to restart. Try to log in back and check. So let me check. Let me check again. 1 minute. Let me go back. Let me go back to that server and check something there. Group policy. We expand the forest, expand domain. Here is the USB blockage. Click on edit. Under policy, we go to administrative and we go to system. If I drag down, we go to removable storage access. We now go to all removable storage access. We put it on not configured. So this is okay. We put it on not configured. This is okay like this. Or we can actually put it on disable as well. So let's check disable, click OK, and I go back to that GPU. First. So what we want to check here is that once we configure that USB blockage, this place will be blocked. But I want to remove it so that the USB blockage will be removed and you'll be able to use anything you want to use. So let me go to this guy and updated it. GP update space / pause. So yeah, I'm going to type yes. So that's going to restart. So let me log in back to this server. But one thing is there is that once you have checked it inside the server and you are able to access it, everything will be working properly. So if I go to this server here now, you are able to access the drive D and everything is fine. Or if you come to this Windows 10, supposed to be able to access it as well. So if you come to the Windows 10, supposed to be able to access it. So let's hold on for it to come up. So after this one, the next thing that I want to do here is a desktop wallpaper. So the reason why I'm removing this policy is that before you can do a desktop wallpaper, we need to remove that USB blockage because I will be accessing something inside that drive D so that I will be able to make use of that desktop wallpaper. So if you want to do this desktop wallpaper, you can choose any image that you want to use for it. You can choose any image that you like that you want to use for it. So if I come here, okay, let me unlock this Windows and check if it's working. But so far that is working on the server, everything is okay. So if I come to my system, let me check which picture I can use for this desktop wallpaper. So let me check pictures, check pictures. So if I click on this PC, once I click on this PC, let's check maybe we are able to access it. So you can see that everything is now working fine. So the first thing here is that we create a USB blocking. USB blocking block everything on the network. You won't be able to access any USB, but you can actually go back there and remove the policy. When we remove the policy, we are now able to use our USB back on the network. So that's how you configure a USB blocking. So let's go to the next one. The next one here will be a desktop wallpaper, which is not inside the slide. So the next one will be a desktop wallpaper, but before we go to that desktop wallpaper, let's do this software installation. So once we do this software installation, we're going to use that desktop wallpaper as the last topic in this today's class. So this software installation, what does software installation mean? Software installation is where you want to install a software for the organization, but you don't want to install it in a static way. You don't want to be going one by one. Imagine maybe you are the IT guy that you are working for organization, and they now give you a task to install a antivirus on all the employee system. Maybe the employee is like a thousands of a system. So if you are going one by one to all those systems to install that antivirus, it's going to take a long day of your time. It's going to take more of your time before you can achieve that goals. But you can use what we call a software installation to achieve the goals within a minute. You can have a server, and inside that server, you can deploy that particular software inside the server, and server is going to install it automatic on all the employee system. So that's what a software installation is. So software installation is when you want to automatically install a software on all the employee systems so that it's not going to be taking more of your time and it's not going to be giving you a tough time. So server will be the one to help you to do all those things within some minutes, and all the employees are going to have all the software. So before you can do it, the first one here is that before we can do this software installation, the first thing is to go on a file explorer on your server. Go to file explorer, create a new folder and name it software installation. So let's go to our server. Here is our server. They say inside the server, we should open our file explorer. So I'm going to open the file explorer on the server. Once I open the file explorer, they say we should create a new folder. So I'm going to local disk and I'm going to create a new folder. Once we create that new folder, we should name it software installation. So I'm going to name it software installation. Software installation and hit enter key. So once we name it software installation, after that, put that software inside the new created folder. So here now says that we should put the software that we want to use inside this new created folder. So which software do you want to use? I want to make use of this software on my system. So if I go to my system, I go to desktop. If I click on desktop, I want to make use of this RadMu viewer. But before I can make use of this RadMu viewer, there's some stuff that I need to enable. There's some features I need to enable on this particular server. For instance, if I want to drag this RadMu viewer inside this server, you will see that it is not possible for me to drag it. And I need this particular software inside this server so that I will make it as my software to install automatic on that window. So before I can do that, I need to enable a feature that is called drag and drop. So I need to enable drag and drop on these servers before I can achieve that particular goal. So if I want to enable drag and drop, I need to go to device. You click on device and you drag down. First thing is that you click on a share clipboard. That share clipboard, you're going to put it on a bi-directional. Go back to that device and you click on a drag and drop. Put that drag and drop on bi-directional and go back to that device and you click on the third one that say insert guest additional CD image. So you click on it. So once you click on it, Go to your file explorer and go to this PC inside the drive D. Inside the drive D, open it. Once you open it, drag down to where you're going to see VirtualBox Window Addition AMD 64. So install that one. Double click on it, click next, next, and install. So what are we trying to do here is that we want to enable the features of drag and drop so that I will be able to drag this particular software inside the server. So that's what we want to do now. We need to enable that drag and drop before we can make use of the drag and drop on the server. So once it's finished, you're going to click on finish, but the Windows 10 is going to reboot. Let's hold down for the server to come up. So once the server is up, let's unlock it. Unlock the server. So once we unlock the server, let's now check maybe the drag and drop is working or not. So let's hold on for the server to come up. So once the server is up, let's check maybe the drag and drop is working. So you can see that here now, the drag and drop is working now. But in the first place, you are not able to use drag and drop. But how do we enable this drag and drop on this server? First thing, we go to device. When we go to device, we first go to the first one that says share clipboard and we put it on bidirectional. Go to the second one, which is drag and drop, and we put it on bidirectional, and we click on the third option, which says insert guest additional CD image. So once we click on it, next thing is that we enter the file explorer of the server. We click on this PC and we click on this drive D and we go and install the one that say VBoss Window Additional AMD 64. So that's the one that we install. So once we install it finish, the server is going to be restarted. After restarted, you are able to drag anything that you want to drag on the server. So that was how we enable drag and drop. So once we enable that drag and drop, they now say that inside this folder that we created, if we go back to our PDF, which is the slide we are using. So here is the slide that we are using. Inside that slide, they say that on the server file explorer, create a new folder, which is we have already done that. We create a new folder. We name the folder software installation. After that, put the software inside the new created folder. So I'm going to desktop. I'm going to copy that particular software. I want to install this RADME on all the employee system, but I want to use server to achieve that goal. So I'm going to copy this software. Let's hold on for. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on copy. So when I click on copy, inside this particular software installation folder, I will paste that particular software inside, which is the admin viewer. But mind you, before you can install any software on a server, make sure that the software is a MSI, I mean. Make sure that the format of the software is a MSI. If you want to automatically install any software on the server, make sure that the format of the software is a MSI. If it is a executable file, it won't be able to work. So if you come here now, you're going to see the type file is a what? Is MSI. Make sure it's a MSI. If it's a EXE, it won't be successful. So anytime that you want to install a software that is EXE, you need to get a converter. You will get a EXE to MSI converter so that you'll be able to achieve that goals. But mind you, before you can install any software on server, the software type format must be MSI. And if it is a EXE, you need to get a software, the application that is called EXE to MSI converter. So you're going to get it so you can convert that EXE to MSI before you can go ahead and use a server to deploy it. So once we have already put it inside, the next thing now say that we should right click on the new folder and share it. So if I go back to that folder, here is the new folder, which is the software installation. And now say we should right click on it. Once we right click and we share the folder. So we share the folder, go to properties. Once you go to properties, go to sharing, go to advanced sharing, and click on the option that says share this folder. So once you click on the option, go to permission and put it on full control. So once you put it on full control, click on apply and click OK. And click apply and click OK. Once you click apply and you click OK, you're going to see the network part here. But what this slide is telling us is that after you right click and share it, you should copy the network part. So we're going to copy this particular network part. So copy this particular network part here. So after you copy, now go to the server manager. Enter the server manager, click on tools, click on group policy management. So once you click on group policy management, the first thing say we should expand forest and we expand domain. So first thing say we expand forest and we expand domain. So once you expand domain, the next thing now say that then right click on your domain name and click on the option that says create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So I'm going to right click on our domain name and we're going to choose the first option that says create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So when I click on this first option, we're going to name it software installation and click OK. So I'm going to name it software installation, and I'm going to click OK. So once you click OK, the next thing I'll say expand your domain name to see the new created GPO. Expand your domain name. So expand your domain name to see the new created GPO, which is a software installation. So after that, right click on it and click on edit. We right click on it and we click on edit. When we're talking about this software installation, we can configure it with both user and a computer configuration. We can use it on both users and a computer configuration. So here it depends on wherever you want to deploy the software. You can use it on computer and we can use it on a user. So if I go to my computer, I expand policy, you will see software setting. If I expand software settings, you're going to see a software installation. So if I go to user as well, if I expand policy, you will see software settings. If I expand software settings, you're going to see software installation. So you can use it on the both and configuration is either computer or user. So here we're going to be using a computer configuration. So here it says, let's assume we configure on a computer configuration. We should expand policy. You expand software settings, and you're going to see the software installation. So after that, right click on the software installation. So once I right click on the software installation, here say we should go to properties. If I go to properties, here say we should paste that particular network path that you copied here. Here, when we share that particular guide, once we share this particular software installation, the network path that we copy, we're going to paste it inside this bus. We're going to paste it inside this bus. I'm coming. So this is where we are. We right click on a software installation and we go to properties. That particular network path, we're going to paste it here. So once we paste it here, this guy is like this. Just leave it on a assign. Assign means that the server will be the one to automatically install that server or on that software on the system. Once we put it on assign, the server will be the one to automatically install the software on all the system. So let's assume that I put it on publish. Publish means that the server will only carry the software and put it on the system, but the server is not going to install it for you, which means that you will now be the one to go to the system and you do the installation. But if I choose assign, this assign, the server will help me to install the software automatically on the system, which means that the user will just be able to make use of the software directly. But you choosing publish, you still need to go to the system and install the software by yourself. So after that, you click on apply and you click on OK. So after that, you still need to right click on the software installation again and you click on new and you click on package. So once you click on new, you click on package, paste that particular network part here and you open. It's going to bring out that particular RADME that is inside. So click on the RADME and you click on open. Once you click on open, you're going to wait here. You're going to see the software that's going to be appeared here. If the software is not appeared here, that means that the software is not deployed yet. So you wait here and you're going to see the software. So you're going to hold on for some seconds. You will see the software. So let's go back to the processes again. We right click, we go to properties. Once we go to properties, we paste that network part here and we put it on assign. I explained there's difference between publish and assign. If I put it on publish, the server will only move that software to all the system, but the server will not help me to install it. But for me putting it on assign, the server will help me to do all the installation, which means that the software will ready to use on all the system. And we click on OK, apply and OK. After that, we right click again, we go to new, go to package, and we choose that particular package and we click open. We choose that particular package and we click open. Once we click open, the software will appear there. So once you see the software appear there, it have already showed you that you have already deployed that software successfully. You're going to see the software. This is the version and the deployment state is what? Assign. You use assign to install all the software for you. So once it is assigned, come back here. Just close this box here. Close this box and go to that particular GPU, which is the software installation. Right click on it and click on enforce. So once you click on enforce, go to your CMD and update. So anytime you are making a new policy, you must be updating the policy. So go to your CMD, which starts from command prompt and type gp update space / force and hit enter key. So you're going to be seeing updating policy. So this particular server will be restarted. So we're going to ask you, do you want to restart? Just type yes and hit enter key. You will see restarting the computer. So the server will be restarted. Okay, started. The server will be restarted. So you'll be seeing applying computer settings. So once you restart the server is going to update all the policy on all the computers. So we're going to hold on for it to come up. So you're going to see installing managed RADME. Once you see something like that, it's showing you that it's already deployed it successfully. So once I log into this particular server, I log into the server. What we're now going to do is that we want to check maybe that particular RADME is being deployed or not. So we're going to check. Well, let's check on this server first before we go to the window. So if you come here, you're going to see a RADME viewer 3. Once you see something like this, the server is already deployed it. If you come to search bar here, you're going to see the RADME. If I search for RADME, if I search for RADME, but here is the RADME. It's already installed. You can see that it is a recently added. So let's go to that particular Windows 10. Let's go to Windows 10. What we're going to do inside this Windows 10 is that we're going to restart the Windows 10. We're going to restart the Windows 10. If I go to this Windows 10, so let's restart this Windows 10. Because anytime you make a new policy, this Windows 10 must be restarted. Anytime you make a new policy, you must restart the Windows 10. So once the Windows 10 is restarted, let me log in back. Please let's hold on for the system to come up. So sometimes once you restart your Windows 10, sometimes you will see the app directly. And sometimes you need to restart it like twice, two times before you can see the app. So I'm going to enter my CMD. I will enter my CMD. So once I enter my CMD, I will type GP update space forward slash force and hit enter key. So the reason why we are restarting this Windows 10 is that the reason why we restart this Windows 10 is if you're doing this thing on a real world, you won't be restarting the employees Windows 10, which means that once the employees close for today's work, they restart they power off their system. Once it's a tomorrow that they on their system back, they're going to see that software there. So that's how it is on a real productive environment. But yeah, we're just going to restart the Windows 10 just to get the software. So we're going to hold on for this Windows 10 to restart. So let me log into this Windows 10. So once I log into this Windows 10, so if you come here, you're going to see the software. You know that in the first place, we are not seeing the software. So if you come here, you will see this software. This is the recently added. It just added this software here. If I double click on it, you'll be able to make use of the software directly. And here is the software that we deploy inside the server. This one here is just the setup. Here is just the setup, which is the installation file. But the reason why the server helps us to install it directly on this system is that we use assign. Assign says that the server will going to install that particular software for us. So we don't need to be going there and install it. We can only just go there and make use of that particular software directly. But if you are using publish we just carry the software from server to the system, but the particular users need to go there and install that server. But here we can actually, here is the software, which is a RAD viewer. So we are able to make use of that software directly without needing to be installing it again because server is already able us to do everything. So that's how a software installation is. So which means that if you have like thousand system on the network, the way that server is do this within a second, that's how server is going to deploy all the software on all the employee system. And you can go ahead and make use of the software directly. So I hope there's no issue about that one before we go to the next topic. So the next one that we are going to here, which is the last one, which is a desktop wallpaper. So these are what we just covered right now. The first one we covered here is a USB blocking. When you are blocking a USB, so after that one, we do a software installation. When we deploy a software from server, and here is the software. The name of that software is a RADMU viewer. So we deploy it from server, and when we deploy it from server, we come to the Windows and we are able to see the particular software and we are able to make use of the software. So that's how we do the software installation. And the software we use here is the RADMU viewer. So the last one that we're going to be doing, which is the last of this course, is a desktop wallpaper. So we all know what desktop is and we all know what wallpaper is. So wallpaper is where you want to desktop wallpaper is when you want to choose a static desktop wallpaper that your company will be making use. So imagine you are working for organization. IT guy can be using that logo, the organization logo, as the wallpaper on all the employee system, which means that if you go to a sales department, you will see that wallpaper on their system. If you go to ICT, you will see the same wallpaper. Anywhere you are going to, you'll be seeing that particular wallpaper, and they can't change the wallpaper. That will be the wallpaper that they will be using. And in any scenario that they want to be changing it, the system is going to tell them that it is they need an administrator right before they can change this, which means it's only the IT guys that can make changes to the wallpaper. They can't change the wallpaper anymore. That will be the only wallpaper that they will be using on all the network. That's what a desktop wallpaper is. But before we can do that one, we must have the picture that we want to use. So you can see that here, the wallpaper here is just a normal wallpaper on the Windows. And we must have the picture that we want to use before we can do that desktop wallpaper. So if I goes to my system, I have a screenshot. I have a screenshot picture that I just take now. So I'm going to make use of that one. So if I goes to this, I goes to save pictures. I have a screenshot picture I take right now. I just screenshot. Okay, let me screenshot another one. So that we're going to make use of it. So I'm going to screenshot another one. So what I'm trying to do is just to get a picture that we're going to use for the last one. So let's hold on, please. So let's try to use this picture. So I'm gonna use this picture. So let's try to use this picture. But the first thing we need to do is that to make sure that the picture leave our system and goes to this particular server. So what we want to do is that this picture leave our system and the system and it's go to this server. So I'm going to put it on screen. So I'm going to drag that picture from here. I will drag it to the server. So once I drag it to the server, you'll be able to see that particular picture. Here is the picture. So I want to use this picture as a desktop wallpaper so that everybody will be making use of these pictures on their wallpaper on the entire network. But the first thing we need to do here is that we need to rename that particular picture. So I'm going to rename to something that's going to be easier. So I will rename it to Sam. So I rename the picture name as a Sam. So once I name the picture as a SAM, if I go to the properties of the picture, we need to know the format. So the type file of the picture is a JPG, which is the format of the picture is a JPG, and the name of this picture is a SAM. So you must know that the name of the picture is a SAM and the file type is a JPG. So that's the first thing. You must know that particular picture that we want to use for it. Once you know the picture, first thing you're now going to do is that we're going to name the picture what you want to name it. After you name it, know the format. So once you know the format, the first thing is that we need to go and create a folder. Create a folder. So go to our local drive C. Once we're in local drive C, we're going to create a folder. We're going to name that folder desktop wallpaper. We're going to name the folder desktop wallpaper. So right click here, click on new, click on folder, and I will name it desktop wallpaper. And I'm going to hit enter key. So once we hit enter key, the next thing is that we should put that picture that we want to use inside this particular folder. So I'm going to put this picture inside this particular folder. So if you open the folder, you're going to see this particular picture inside. So once you put the picture inside the folder, share that particular folder, which is a desktop wallpaper. I'm going to share it. Right click on it, go to properties. Once you go to properties, go to sharing, go to advanced sharing, and you click on the option that says share this folder. So once you click on the option that says share this folder, you go to permission and put the permission on a full control. So once you put it on full control, click on apply and click on OK. Here as well, click on apply and click on OK. So you're going to see the network part. So the reason why we are sharing this picture is that we want to get the network part. That is the reason why we are sharing the folder. So once we get the network part, we need to copy this particular network part. So once we copy the network part, close this page and go to your server manager. So I'm going to open my server manager. So once I open the server manager, I'm going to go to tools, click on tools, and you click on the option that says group policy management. So once you click on group policy management, expand your forest expand domain, and you're going to see your real domain name. So I'm going to right click on it, and you use the first option that says create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So you're going to click on it. So once you click on it, you name it desktop wallpaper. Name it desktop wallpaper. I'm going to share this command. I'm going to share the configuration for this desktop wallpaper. So this is the only one that is not inside that slide. So I'm going to share the step for you after the class. So name it desktop wallpaper. After that, you're going to click on OK. So if I expand my domain name, you're going to see the desktop wallpaper that we name. You're going to see it. So the first thing you now need to do is to right click on the desktop wallpaper and you click on edit. So once you click on edit, you will see the both computer configuration and user configuration. But where you need to go is go to user configuration. So under the user configuration, you need to drag down policy. Once you drop down policy, drop down administrative template. Once you drop down administrative templates, you're going to see a desktop. So you drop down desktop and you're going to see another desktop. Click on the desktop. So once you see the second desktop, you will see another option by your right hand which says desktop wallpaper. Click on it. So once you click on it, this guy here is on not configure. So put it on enable. So once you put it on enable, that particular network path that we copied here, after we shared it finish, if you go back to that desktop wallpaper and we go to properties, we go to sharing, this network path here, copied it. You copy the network path. Once you copy that network path, inside this wallpaper name, you're going to paste that network path inside. So you're going to paste the network path inside. After you paste it, you now need to use a backslash with the name of that picture. If I come back here, so let me close this place. If I come back to where I have that picture, so I'm coming. So if I go back to this system, you will see the name of this picture here is a SAM, capital letter SAM, and the format is a JPG. So you must know the name. So I need to go back to this place. Once you paste that network path, backslash name of that picture, which is a SAM, dot the format is a JPG. First thing we do is that we click on enable, we paste the network path here with a backslash the name of the picture dot the format. After that, the next thing here is a wallpaper style. How do you want the wallpaper to look like in the system? Maybe you want it to be in the center, you want it to fill everything, you want it to act as a field, span, stretch, or tile. So anyone you want, but me, I will put it on a field so that it's going to fill all the entire desktop. So click on field, and after you click on field, you need to click on apply, and you click on OK. So after that, the next thing is to go to prohibit change. You enable it. So once you apply and click on OK, so after that, you now need to go back to that GPO that you create before and you go and enforce the policy. So you need to go back to that GPO, which is a desktop wallpaper. Right click on it and you click on enforce. So once you click on enforce, enter the CMD of the server, which is a command prompt. And you type this command, gp update space slash force, gp update space slash force, and what you will see is a updating policy. So you need to hold on for it to finish. So it's going to ask you, do you want to restart, yes or no? Type yes and hit enter key. So once you come back here, you need to log in back to the server, control delete, and you put your password inside. Boom. So the great thing you see here that the wallpaper is already been changed to that particular picture that we use. This picture says God is good. So this is the picture that I choose when I want to use that desktop wallpaper. So if I open this particular picture, you will see that this is what we use. And that's the reason why that you are seeing that the desktop is already changed to that particular picture. So what next we need to do is that we need to go to this particular Windows 10 and restart the Windows 10 as well, so that the picture as well will be changed inside. So we need to restart and we check maybe the desktop wallpaper is working or not. But once you have already seen that it's already showed on your server, it's already give you the assurance that it's going to work on the window as well. So let's hold on. So let me log in back to the Windows 10. Let's hold on for it to come up, please. So as you can see, the wallpaper is working properly on the window as well. So, which means that if we have a thousands of a system on a network and you configure a desktop wallpaper, that particular picture that you use will be appear on all the thousands PC. They will be appear on all their desktop and they can't change it at all. That's how a desktop wallpaper works. So once you configure desktop wallpaper on the server, it's going to be appearing on all the entire network. So if I go to settings of this guy, if I go to settings of the window, so if I go to settings of the window, I'm coming. I want to show something. So as you can see, like what I explained to you, if you want to make changes to this thing, you won't be able to change it anymore. So everything will be optioned out. Everything will be optioned out. It's only that particular administrator that can make changes to it inside, because this wallpaper will be the one that we're going to be using permanently on the system. So that's how a desktop wallpaper works. So I hope there's no issue on what we cover today. Please, oh, if there's issue, let me know. If there is issue, let me know. These are what we covered for today's class. The first thing we cover here is USB blocking when we are blocking a USB. And the second thing is a software installation when we install a software automatically from a server and server deploy it on all the system. And the third one here is a desktop wallpaper, which is not here. And I'm going to share you the slide after the class. So I hope there's no issue. Yes, yes, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. There's a way you can deploy a software for some or some department, and you don't want some department to get it. Yes, for instance, maybe we have a sales, we have HR, and we have marketing. If there's some particular software that I want to use, I only want to give sales. You can deploy it so that it is only sales that will see it, and marketing is not going to see it. So how do we do it? Is that when you want to go and share the file, when you go to properties, for instance, if I come here, let me show you how you can do it. If I come here, I come to my server. So if I open the server and I go to that particular folder, which is a desktop wallpaper, here is the folder that we shared. So if I right click on this folder, I go to properties and I go to sharing, I go to advanced. Once you come to this permission was on a what? Everyone. Everyone means that then everybody can be getting it. But if I don't want everybody to get it, I will remove it and I'm going to add. If I click add, I will put says. So if I here now, if I put the department that you have on your network, maybe you have a sales or you have marketing, you will put that name of that department here. So any department that you only want it to get it, you will put it here and you're going to click OK. Do you get it? Once you click OK, it's going to appear here so that it's only that particular department will be getting it. But the one that we do before is that it was everyone. Everyone means that it is everybody that will be getting it. But if you remove it, you can add that particular people that you want them to get it. So that's it. Yeah. I hope there's no issue.